As a proud gay man myself.
What? Easy. Or...
I like cock.
Oh my god. Salute, comrades. Old boy is here. You know, guys, lately it's been a little bit of pain in the eye to be reacting to Jim Jefferies bits due to the copyright reasons. And it's a big pity for me because he's one of my favorite comedians. But what if we give it another shot? I want to react to one of the suggestions from the comment section, which is Jim Jefferies' airplane etiquette. Let's hope this video won't get copyrighted. Let's check it out. Let's see if it's good or not. Let's see if I can share any thoughts or opinion about it. Okay, let's jump into the video.
Let's tell some stories. Now, this first story, the first bit of this story you should already know. In the same way that you know things like, don't kill people, try not to rape.
Try not to rape. Oh my god. Okay, alright.
When you're on an airplane, there's a thing called plane etiquette, and it goes like this. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets two armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fuck.
You know, guys, I never knew about that. Is it really everywhere like this? Well, it makes sense that you get lean to the window, right? If you sit next to the window and you have some extra space for your legs, you can stretch a little bit, right? If you sit next to the aisle. But I never knew, I had no idea that you were supposed to get both armrests, right? If you sit in the middle. Tell you the truth, many times unfortunately, I had to sit in the middle when I was flying, and I didn't know I had that right. It's a little bit, I'm a bit sad about this fact. Is it everywhere like this, guys?
Fucking animals, we live in a society. So I was on a flight from Los Angeles to Houston, and I had the middle seat, and that sucks balls. So I'm sitting there with my two armrests. Next to me is a petite young...
Sorry, guys. You know, it reminded me. A couple years ago, I had to take several flights in a short period of time. And I had to use I won't call which country, but it was in Southeast Asia, right? And I don't know if it's like their standard thing, but the size of the seats was not much, but considerably smaller than I would expect from, say, Russian Airlines or I believe American Airlines as well. So imagine you sit in the middle and the seat is maybe 10-20% narrower than it was supposed to be, which would fit my kind of constitution, you know? Well, that really sucks.
Lady, she's doing her job, armrest wall, I'm in the middle, two armrests. Sitting next to me here is a great big black man who's as gay as the day is long. He sits down next to me and we do the niceties. Hello, hello. And then with no issue whatsoever, he sees my elbow there and he just went, chock. And I went,
oh.
No.
Oh, someone also said, oh, in the audience. I agree. It's at the very least not kind. You know, if someone already took the spot, right? Why would you force it? Why would you push it? It's very rude, I think. You know, I even have this, a fear that if someone put the elbow on the armrest already, I don't even want to touch it, you know. I don't even want the skin to touch the skin, you know. It just doesn't feel right to me. Just my personal thing. Maybe I'm too modest. Maybe I'm too kind. I don't know. Maybe it's my problem. Yeah, maybe it's a problem, actually. Maybe I shouldn't be.
Pretty upset, but he's a big fucking guy and it's a long flight, so there's no need to get into an argument. So I have that argument that you have in your head where the other person doesn't know you're having an argument. Where you're like, you're a fucking asshole. And if you said this, then I would say, well, good sir, I think you're mistaken, right?
Sorry, guys, for stopping so much. But I just like these combinations, you know? I just like overall his style, how he combines, how he plays the words. It's just so, well, I'm afraid so, your mistake. It's just so funny.
So I sit there festering for like 45 minutes, and eventually the air stewardess comes with a drink cart. Now, why I'm on air stewardesses, right? Whenever you watch a movie set in the 60s and they show air stewardesses, or an old TV show, they'd show like Pam Am or something, they always depict air stewardesses as these hot young things with a pillbox hat and a little bun and big tits and a small waist and holding a bag going, like that. I don't think...
Have you guys noticed actually that in most of the countries, I don't know, do they choose like is this a requirement for getting a job? The model kind of appearance, you know? Because I really noticed that most of the airlines, those stewardesses, they're good. Yeah? I don't know if that's how much do they pay them? How do they even find them? Because you need to know a couple languages. You need to be very patient. You need to be very kind, and at the same time do the job itself, you know? It's kind of hard, and you have to look good. How do they find them?
Any of those women have retired.
Wait, sorry.
Yes.
Oh.
This thing was just being propped up by the drink cart. 50 years of recycled air had made her skin drip off her skull like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. She comes up, the guy reaches over for his drink and his pretzels, armrest open, bang! I'm back in. And I'm not fucked.
That's a good move. I think I would do the same. Well, now, I mean. Before I wouldn't, but now as I know the rules, I think I completely support him. I would do the same thing.
Going anywhere either. He puts all of his things down in his tray and he goes to put his elbow back, but he fucking can't, can he? He can't, because there's a wall there called Jim Jefferies and he can't fucking move it, right? And he's pushing, and I'm acting like I can't feel it, like this, but casual like. Then he gets his fist like...
It happened to me too, guys. I believe it was in China, and I think he looked like a businessman, and I was sitting. It was actually an empty row, so the 3 seats were empty when I was boarding. And then he came, like when the boarding was almost over, he came and took the seat next to me, and I already took the armrest, and then he was trying to push my hand off, and I didn't let this happen. And just like he said, you just sit and pretend like you can't feel anything, like just like that. Yeah, so I completely understand what he's talking about.
Like this, and his hand like that, and he's pushing really hard back, and I'm trying to do that casual.
Exactly.
But he's much bigger than me, and eventually I have to give in. I just went chock. So I turned to him and said what needed to be said. Why are you such a cunt? Now, I understand that word in this country isn't as popular as maybe it should be. People were freaking the fuck out. They were going...
Yeah, guys. I was learning, when I was learning English, we were using mostly British textbooks. I believe from Oxford, I think so. And that word for me doesn't really mean much. Oh, it's not that we learn them from those textbooks. No, it's that my accent, my pronunciation, basically all the phonetics were taken from British movies. And I'm very used to that word, but I used to, operate it a lot. But when I took one of the jobs where I had to work with other foreigners, I realized that and they're not overreacting to this word, but I just believe in your American culture, it's a little bit different. Like, you don't take this word as easy as the Brits do. But again, for me, it meant nothing, and it still means nothing. It's just a word, and it actually sounds pretty good. I think so.
He did. He just said it. I heard him say it. called that man a C-bomb. I heard him say it, Bob. Called the man a C-bomb, Bob. And he was shocked as well. He turned to me and went, "Excuse me, what did you just call me? But in for a penny, in for a pound, right?" And I was there going, "A cunt, sir." I called you a cunt. And he said, "Are you up?"
Guys, I like his pronunciation and a little bit of this. Maybe his personal mannerism, you know? I really like it.
"Upset because you're trying to take my armrest?" And I went, "You don't know plain etiquette. Window gets an armrest and a wall. Middle gets two armrests. Aisle gets an armrest and a little bit of extra leg. We're not fucking animals. We live in a society."
Okay.
And the people that initially hated me agreed with me, like, "He is right about that. That is true." That is.
Again, guys, can you confirm or debunk this idea? How is it in your country? Just let me know, because I never heard, and I did fly a bit, you know. I flew many times, and no one ever told me about this rule. I'm still a little bit surprised to learn.
True. We do live in a society. And he went, "Oh, I'm only taking the back of the armrest. You can have the rest of the armrest." And I went, "You take the back, you take the whole fucking thing. No one gives a fuck about the front of the armrest. No one's ever gone,
it's
thanks
true.
for the front of the armrest." I said, "It's not just that you're taking my armrest. Your elbow has come over the armrest and it's digging into my rib cage." And he said, "Well, maybe if you lost some weight." I know. I was gobsmacked. I didn't know what to fucking say. I just turned to him and went, "You bitchy queen." Now everyone on the plane has lost their fucking shit. The movie.
How bad is it? Like, first of all, I never heard this phrase before, this combination of words. Second of all, it doesn't sound rude or I don't know. Guys, just explain to me, what's the negative essence? Like, what's the negative core of this phrase?
The movie can fuck off, mate. No one's watching the fucking movie. I'm the entertainment now.
Of course.
The air stewardess comes running back on her walker. She comes up to us and she goes, "What's going on here?" And I said, "I want this fucking asshole away from me." And she said, "Sir, this is not the situation to be swearing in." I went, "Yes, it is. We're having a fight." And she went, "Well, there's no need for name calling." I called the guy bitchy queen, so I sort of get what she's saying. And I turned to her and said, "You know what? You're right. There is never a need for name calling. But as a proud gay man myself,
What?
I feel like I've earned the right to say such words."
Easy. Or... Oh my God.
So... She apologized. The
Guys,
gay
I
guy
hope he
knows
was trying
I'm
to
fucking
just, you know,
lying.
get out of the sticky situation.
He's fagging the fuck out, just... And the air stewardess went, "Can everyone calm down? What's the problem here?" And he went, "He's trying to take my armrest." And the air stewardess went, "Everyone knows the middle gets two armrests." And I went, "See?" She goes, "I'm gonna have to break you two up." And she points to the man and said, "Sir, you're going to have to find a seat at the back of the plane." I'm victorious. I stand up. I bash my head on the thing.
Oh my God. It happened to me many times because I'm pretty tall. I'm 6 feet and I always smack my head over that thing. Whenever I want to put my bag in, if I want to leave the seat, I would always smack my head over that carriage box, right? My God.
I pointed at the man and I went, "Get to the back of the plane." Now, a lot of people on that plane hadn't seen the rest of the argument. All they have seen is me pointing at a black man, yelling, "Get to the back of the plane." Things got real awkward, real...
Oh, I think it's an allusion to the segregation rules, right? When the black citizens could not take the front seat in the bus. Is that right? I think it is, because I heard something like that.
I didn't know what I'd done yet. People were yelling at me, calling me a racist, and I was like, I know, but how do you know?
Sorry guys, not related. First of all, sorry again for stopping so much, for pausing so much. Is this the Australian kind of thing? Because I'm not very familiar with Australian accents, but I heard this joke before that Australians say no as if there's an R at the end, so it's gonna be nar. Is that how Australians say no? Just curious, just let me know in the comments, okay?
Then a guy threw a bag of peanuts at the back of my head and said, "Sit down, you limey bastard." And I was like, "That's the British. I'm Australian, you fucking racist." Which would have made a lot of sense if being British or Australian was a race and not a nationality. But at that stage, I was clutching at straws, really. So I go sit back down in his old chair. We got the empty seat between us. Me and the girl pounded out. Now, later on the flight, I'm walking up the back of the plane to the toilet. And I want to see the guy, because I want to go...
He wants to check on him, right? He wants to confirm his victory. But I once sat at the back of the plane, if that's what he means, like the last row, right? And it wasn't that bad, actually.
And I get all the way to the back of the plane. I don't see him anywhere. I'm about to go in the toilet, and then I see his leg around the corner. There were no more seats. This is a full flight. He's sitting in the air stewardess's landing seat that folds down with a seatbelt over the top like he's in a fucking go-kart. I put my head around the corner, I went, "No armrest here, dickhead." And the air stewardess went, "You..."
Well, now I agree. You already won the battle, right? You don't have to offend even more. So I do think that's a little bit too much. But maybe if you're Australian, maybe it's different.
Get back to your seat, and I ran away like a child, like... So, for landing, I go sit back down in his old seat. Now, the air stewardess seat is taken, so she's taking my old seat in the middle, and she fucking hates me. And I'm taking both armrests, fuck her. And as we're landing, the guy over the aisle leans over and goes, "Excuse me, you're Jim Jefferies, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, how you doing?" And he went, "I had no idea you were gay."
Me too.
Fucking yeah. I like cock.
Okay, guys. Seems like that's it. Some parts were a little bit intense for me, but it was really funny. So now I understand why people were suggesting me it in the comment section, right? If you have any suggestions, by the way, you can leave a comment as well. I would love to react to some interesting videos. But about this one, guys, you tell me if it's good or bad. I liked it very much. Yeah, if there's anything else you would like to say or share or leave your opinion, don't hesitate to write something in the comment sections. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time of the day it is. And as always, salute, comrades.